just love to retire here, eh? The islands of Naples are amongst the most beautiful spots on the planet. Roman Emperor Tiberius certainly thought so. And as soon as he could, he quit Rome and moved here.
He spent the last 11 years of his reign on Capri, getting up to all sorts. And if you happened to visit and he didn't like you, then as you left, legend has it, you'd be thrown from this cliff.
There are three main islands, Procida, Ischia, and this one, the most famous, Capri. And what they all have in common, besides sun, sea, landscape, is food. Fabulous food.
For the past couple of years, these islands have been celebrating their culinary heritage with a food festival.
Each year there's a different theme, and this year it's food and literature. Stories to savour in a sea of wonders, that's what the festival bump says. A bit florid perhaps, but there's plenty about the cuisine in this region and the lifestyle associated with it that makes it worth a party.
It's been a wonderful experience to come to Naples. You have to remember I'm coming from Seattle, where right now we're barely into spring, and to be able to come to a place that's sunny, that has lemons as big as your head, has tomatoes that smell and taste as if they just came out of the garden, to spend an evening eating dinner for 4 or 5 hours, when in America usually we're done in 15 minutes. So it's a marvelous, it just makes life feel like vacation.
Well, this is my first time to Naples and the islands, and the main thing about it so far is that it's endless. I've been eating nonstop since I got here, and it's just amazing. So much fish. I'm not like usually a huge fish person, but it's so fresh and amazing. And pasta and sweets and coffee and wine. I'm just having such a great time here.
La comida de esta región es realmente seductora. Esa sería la palabra. Es una comida que despierta en la memoria a través de olores, a través de sabores, una memoria ancestral que nos hace sentir como en casa. Es una región donde uno come de la manera más natural los productos de la tierra, porque solo tienes que añadir aceite de oliva, limón, a los productos naturales, a las verduras, a los pescados, y realmente es una cocina muy sana y muy sensual, y bueno, yo la recomendaría a todo el mundo.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here today.
The festival has brought together some of the world's leading authors known for combining vivid storytelling with a passion for food.
I write about food. A lot of that had a great deal to do with the fact that we had the opportunity to live in Italy for 2 years, which completely revolutionized how I saw food. When I write, what I'm trying to do is get people to pay attention to the small things in their life, and I think food is one of the best ways to do that.
Well, food has always been one of my prime subjects in my writing, and not because I'm so great at cooking or that I love to describe the perfect peach tart or anything like that, but because food is sort of a prism through which I see a lot about the world and my relationships and the way people live and live together and work together and fight together and all of that. So food's just this wonderful universal.
El papel que la comida ha jugado en mi trabajo, bueno, es fundamental, podríamos decir, porque es el contrapunto, siempre ha sido el contrapunto a mi actividad como escritora. Hay veces que, por ejemplo, yo estoy escribiendo una novela y de pronto me quedo atorada con una idea que no puedo desarrollar bien. Me voy a la cocina y en la cocina empiezo a cocinar y empiezo a trabajar creativamente y regreso inmediatamente a escribir.
The islands themselves have a strong literary heritage.
In the early 20th century, artists and writers flocked here, sold on a Mediterranean lifestyle described in a book written by a Swedish doctor called Axel Munther.
Entitled The Story of San Michele, it celebrated the people of the then rural village of Anacapri. This is Munther's home, the Villa San Michele, with its gardens dotted with classical statuary and fantastic views. Another early fan lived here. J.C. McCowan was an ex-Confederate soldier, and he wrote one of the first guidebooks to the island.
It wasn't long before a stream of writers and celebs descended on Capri. Norman Douglas, Graham Greene, Compton Mackenzie, and our very own Lancashire lass, Gracie Fields, who's buried here.
The island of Ischia also became a popular bolt hole for artists. W.H. Auden's parties were the scandal of their day, but it was a composer who left a more indelible mark. These stunning gardens are the legacy of Sir William Walton and his wife Susanna. Procida is the smallest and least developed island as far as tourism goes. Famous as the location for the classic movie Il Postino, it's also known as the Island of Lemons. And here you can see locals bringing in the mainstay of cooking in these parts.
No surprises, it's seafood. Here you'll sample some of the best in the Mediterranean.
It is, of course, a staple part of the local diet, and I don't think you could get much fresher than this. Cuttlefish, squid and mullet are common, straight from the boat and into the market. And they're just what you'll find on local menus. L'Olivo at the Capri Palace Hotel is one of 7 restaurants taking part in this festival, with a series of special dishes inspired by the literary works being celebrated.
Io ho scelto la parmigiana di melanzana come appetizer perché è un piatto molto tipico, molto tradizionale. Amo la cucina tradizionale di qua e per me è molto importante che i nostri clienti assaggiano anche questi piatti. Come secondo piatto che ho scelto è gli mezzi paccheri con tortani e patate. Un piatto tipico sono le tortani e patate e io l'ho cercato di combinare con la pasta.
Oliver Goldwig won his first Michelin star in 2004. He now has 2, and L'Olivo is Capri's most exciting eatery.
Io amo molto questa regione perché trovo veramente i prodotti sono un paradiso per uno chef. La materia prima è veramente di ottima qualità. Comincia dalle verdure, al pesce, ai formaggi, anche la carne, che è veramente un'ottima qualità.
Of course, there's a lot more to these islands than food, but gastronomy is a great way of showcasing what they have to offer, and it's not hard to see why they've been one of the Med's top destinations for over 2,000 years.